Well, another Monday with another Vikings win. The Vikes beat the Chicago Bears yesterday 30-27. Now to recap this close game, let's bring in our Vikings insider Cody Benjamin. Hey, good morning, Cody.
Hi, Maria. How are you doing?
I'm great. Yeah, I love chatting with you on Mondays, especially when we win. But I mean, it was a narrow win with the Chicago
Yeah.
Bears. Who do you think deserves the most credit for the victory?
Yeah, I would say first of all, maybe the Bears coaching staff for failing to capitalize at the end of the game. I mean, the Chicago has come under quite a bit of fire this year for just the way that their offense has been run, and Caleb Williams actually put up a fight against the Vikings. But if you're looking at just crediting, who did the best for the Vikings, I mean, I'd go back to the offense. We've given Brian Flores' defense so much credit this year, but I think this one belonged to Kevin O'Connell, to Sam Darnold, to Aaron Jones, who finally got back over 100 yards rushing. He finally had some daylight, running against that Bears defense. And Sam Darnold again, another game with no interceptions. And I think every time he does that now, you're putting yourself in a good chance to win. As was probably expected, this wasn't a blowout win for the Vikings. This was a classic NFC North gritty divisional game where it kind of comes down to the last minute. Ideally, you're not in that position. If you're the Vikings, you're 9-2 now. The hope is that you're kind of blowing out these teams that you are better than. But again, once again, I mean, we've been saying this. It's like a broken record here every Monday. They keep stacking the wins, and so they're not pretty. But 9-2, you're only one game back from the Lions in the NFC North. So a positive step forward for the offense here.
Yeah, no kidding. And we've got some concern though, but how concerned should we be about some injuries suffered by, Sam Darnold, Cam
Yeah.
Robinson, and Ivan Pace just yesterday?
Yeah, well, we've seen a couple times this year now where Sam Darnold is kind of slow to get up, kind of has banged up, whether it's his knee, ankle, his foot. Like he's had a couple of those this year, and again on Sunday where he actually had to come out for a play with Nick Mullins coming in. The fact that he finished the game, that he came back in, I mean that should tell you right there. There's not a high level of concern with his condition moving forward. I mean, if Sam Darnold were to go down for an extensive period of time. I mean, then you are probably really bracing for the worst, I think, because Nick Mullins, we saw him in emergency action last year. I mean, for as much as Sam Darnold got some flack for his turnover streaks a couple of weeks ago, he is still the best option at quarterback. But he went back in, so I wouldn't be too concerned. Cam Robinson, that's the one I would circle. I mean, at left tackle, they brought him in specifically to replace Christian Darrisaw, who is also injured, done for the year. And it's not easy to just plug in a left tackle and give your quarterback good blindside protection. He's been, adequate coming in on short notice. If he's out for an extended period of time, then I would be concerned again about just Sam Darnold's protection, forcing throws under pressure. And so that'll be one to watch moving forward.
I mean, 9-2. Are you kidding me? Like that is this Vikings team actually for real now?
Yeah, I mean, I would say if we talk about it in two different ways. So if we say the Vikings are wild card contenders, are a lock to make the playoffs, I would say absolutely. I mean, 9-2, it's hard to lose the ground that you've built up here. Again, these are kind of they've been some ugly wins, but at 9-2, again, the fact that you're only one game back from the Lions, the fact that you have the same record as a team like the Philadelphia Eagles that looks like they could make another deep run, you're in a great position in terms of wild card. Now, if you talk about are they a Super Bowl contender, that's where I would pump the brakes a little bit. The Vikings were 13-4 just 2 years ago, and they got bounced in the first round of the playoffs. Now, I'm not saying that's going to happen again, but you look at the stretch. You played the Colts, the Jaguars, the Titans, the Bears. None of those teams are even close to being Super Bowl contenders. You want to be routing those teams. We saw earlier this year the Vikings, they put up a good fight and even routed some better teams like the Texans, the 49ers. That hasn't happened lately. So I would say, it's Thanksgiving. Be thankful. It's Thanksgiving coming up. Be thankful that they are pretty much a stone cold lock here to get into the dance. But I would say hold off a little bit. they need to, if we put them up against the Eagles right now, if we put them up against the Lions again, I still think they would be probably underdogs right now.
Okay, well, next Sunday, Vikings take on Arizona Cardinals here at home at US Bank Stadium. What are your thoughts looking into that game?
Yeah, I would feel good if I'm a Vikings fan. I think that, even though Caleb Williams kind of had a promising performance, for the Bears this past weekend, Kyler Murray, that's another guy who he likes to get on the move. But when he's pressured, when he's flushed out of the pocket, as he was yesterday, and the Cardinals lost to the Seahawks, I think that bodes well for the opponent. So I would bet on Brian Flores' defense, the pressure looks that he offers. I would bet on that over Kyler Murray and the Cardinals right now. So I think there's a very feasible path here for the Vikings to be 10-2, coming out of the Thanksgiving weekend.
Oh, great to hear. Cody, anything else you wanted to add this morning?
I mean, again, I feel like I say it every single week, but now it really is Thanksgiving. So be grateful for where you're at. I mean, this is again, it's not ugly. There's still a decent amount of games to go where the Vikings can build up some traction and have some even more momentum going into the playoffs.
Cool. Well, Cody, thank you so much. Happy Thanksgiving to you and your family. We'll talk to you again next week.
All right. Thanks so much, Maria. I appreciate it.
Absolutely. Thank you. And like I said, next Sunday, the Vikings take on the Arizona Cardinals right here at home at US Bank Stadium. That game is at noon.